Bro, has it ever happened to you that you wanted to learn something? So what did you do? You took out a book or you opened a YouTube video and you started reading or watching, and time passes, and then you finish the chapter, close the book or finish the video, and you're there and ask yourself, yeah, now what did I actually learn? You think about it, but realize that you didn't learn anything, bro. That you can't pretty much understand anything of what you read. And if that ever happened to you, you know exactly how frustrating that is. And I surely know exactly how frustrating that is, because I cannot tell how many times that happened to me, but let me tell you that I solved that problem when I actually mastered 3 simple steps: interest, focus, and action. As soon as I mastered those 3 steps, my learning and remembering skills skyrocketed, bro, skyrocketed. And let me tell you that when even just one of those 3 steps is missing, the whole process is ruined. And so the reason why you are probably not learning and remembering as much and as fast as you actually would love to is probably because you're doing the same mistake that I was doing, because you're not mastering those 3 steps. And that was the reason why I was not motivated at all any single time that I wanted to learn something. That was the reason why I literally had to reread phrases 3 to 4 times until I actually understood them. That was the reason why at the end of a chapter I couldn't remember what I had just read, bro. And that really what like frustrated me because I didn't want to waste my time. Obviously I wanted to learn and remember things so that I could actually implement them, so that I could actually improve my life. That was the goal. And the thing is that I was doing a very big mistake. I was using the technique that I had learned at school to learn and remember. And what do we do at school, bro? What do? We try to push things in our minds, information that we don't even care about. Then when we try to read and focus on something, we're in an environment which is full of, bro, distractions. The teacher talking, someone asking you for something, someone throwing around a paper airplane. Like, how can we focus in such an environment? And then when we try to remember something, what do? We just underline things just because the teacher told us to underline it. And then when the teacher asks us, yeah, now make me a summary of it, and you say, I didn't understand it, she just tells you, yeah, read it again, bro, read it again. And then we ask ourselves why we're not able to learn and remember things. Oh, it's obvious, because we use a technique which we learned at school, and is totally like bullshit. As soon as I understood that I just had to stop learning like I learned at school, and I just had to find out a new way to learn. That is where I actually took out books on the subject. That is where I actually watched many YouTube videos, listened to podcasts, and really tried out so many techniques that made me understand that at the end of the day, it was just about 3 main simple steps. The first one is interest. Very simply, if you don't master interest, you will waste your time, because why even trying to put in your mind things that you don't care about? And the reason why interest is so important is because we learn better things that are actually connected to emotion. If we are not connecting any emotion to what we read, if we're not interested in it, we will not learn anything, bro. And so the best advice that I can give you here, the thing that helped me the most, was to only focus on learning things that I wanted to learn, that I was 100% interested in. And now you may be saying, yeah, but that's cool, I'm forced to learn things that I don't care about. The best thing that I can give you there is to try to make it as interesting and as emotionally positive as you can. That's it. Now we get to step number 2, which is focus. Because if we can't focus on something, we will not be able to suck up anything. And so the thing that most people tell you when they want to focus is try to find something that helps you to focus, right? But I found that the opposite advice is actually better: to eliminate the things that distract you from focusing. Because if it was not for the things distracting you from focusing on something, you would be able to focus on it. So I've identified 5 main things that distract us from focusing. The first thing is very simply not being interested, but we already did that in step number 1, so check, we don't have to worry about that anymore. The second thing that distracted me a lot was not being very clear and not knowing exactly what I wanted to learn. So the best tip that I can give you there is to identify every single time and define exactly what it is that you want to learn in every single learning session. The third thing that can distract you from learning is your environment. Very simply, we have to eliminate all the auditive and like visual distractions that we could have, like people asking us for help, like our phone ringing, ding, 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 and other things like that. Get into an environment where there is no single one of those distractions and you will be well off. The fourth type of distraction is very simply things that you want to do. So here I suggest you two simple things. If something can't wait for you to finish your learning session, just do it straight away, bro. Just do it straight away. And if something can wait for you to finish your learning session and is less important than it, just write it down on a little piece of paper just like this one, so you don't have to carry it around in your mind, and so that it will not bother you while you want to focus. And now we get to the fifth thing that actually distracts you, that can distract you and probably will distract you while you want to focus, and that is thoughts, bro. Your thoughts. When you want to read, there will come like random thoughts in your mind, and the only thing we have to do is to not get upset at them. Just see them as simple thoughts, don't care, and bring your attention back to the thing here that you want to focus. So now we mastered interest and focus, and we get to action. Action is actually key, because otherwise you will not remember what you learned. That is very simply because we remember things that we act on, and that is because our minds create connections while we act, while we do things, while we act with the newly acquired knowledge. And the more we act on the newly acquired knowledge, the more connections there will be made in our brain, and therefore the better we will remember it. So there are two main things that I suggest you to do. The first thing is to learn as if you had to teach what you learned. So ask yourself why you read, ask yourself, how can I implement this? Where can I implement? In what situation? Who could it help? Like, write down a summary as soon as you finish the chapter, write a summary and do those things. And if you can, teach it. Like, literally go and teach someone what you just learned. That works amazingly well. And the second thing, the more important and powerful one, is to act and to implement the newly acquired knowledge. That is the reason why I remember the books that I have implemented. Literally, I remember all the implementable steps and all the key mindsets of the books that I have actually implemented. And that is the reason why I don't remember the books that I didn't implement. It's as simple as that. So if you can, while you're learning something, implement straight away. And by following those 3 steps, you will actually be able to learn and remember like a pro, bro. Like Einstein. Maybe Einstein is a little bit of an exaggeration, but you got the point. And I really hope that this video helped you out. If you actually want to implement what you just learned, you have the summary of this video in the description down below, so go and check it out. And I would also be interested to know if you have other better learning and remembering techniques that I would be really happy to see in the comments down below. Anyways, now we get to this week's quote, which says that knowledge is just potential power. We always hear that knowledge is power, but that is simply not true. Knowledge backed by action, that is power. And so instead of being here wasting your time just watching a YouTube video, 10 minutes of your time, go and implement, bro. Go and implement. That is where you will actually improve. Anyways, I wish you all the best and see you in the next video.